The WNBA is in absolute chaos right now. Paige Bueckers, the rising star of women's basketball and future face of the league, is making headlines for what she just said. And what's more shocking, it's not even about her game. It's about what fans are calling the special whistle conspiracy. A growing belief that the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark are being targeted by WNBA referees, and possibly the league itself. So what did Paige say? And why is it going viral across the basketball world? Asterisk. Stay tuned, because this is about to get intense. Caitlin Clark, the #1 overall draft pick and one of the most talked about rookies in sports history, has been under the microscope since stepping onto a WNBA court. She's been praised for her deep shooting, vision, and poise under pressure. But she's also been fouled hard, often, and seemingly without much concern from the referees. From hip checks to body slams to flagrant elbows, fans have noticed one thing. Caitlin Clark doesn't seem to get the same protection as other stars. And the Indiana Fever, a team filled with young, talented players like Aaliyah Boston and Lexi Hull, keep ending up on the wrong side of questionable calls. It started with isolated incidents, but it's grown into a full-blown controversy. It's the name fans are giving to a trend they've seen in recent games. The referees seem to be treating Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever differently, as in worse. Some say it's favoritism toward veteran players. Others say it's a league issue, punishing Clark for bringing too much attention or for disrupting the order of the WNBA's old guard. Let's be clear, fans aren't just angry. They're gathering clips. They're circulating data. They're editing side-by-side videos showing Clark getting shoved to the ground with no call, while other stars get free throws for barely being touched. And this is where Paige Bueckers enters the conversation. For anyone who doesn't know, Paige Bueckers is not in the WNBA yet, but she's about to be. The UConn superstar is expected to be a top pick in the next WNBA draft, and is already a massive name in women's basketball. Her mix of court vision, finesse, leadership, and clutch play has made her a household name among fans who follow women's hoops closely. She's also known for her strong voice, especially when it comes to fairness, equity, and calling things like they are. And now she's speaking loud and clear about what she sees happening to Caitlin Clark and the Fever. So what exactly did Paige Bueckers say? In a recent post-game interview after a Team USA scrimmage, Paige was asked about the state of the WNBA, her future, and how she views the transition from college to pro. Here's what shocked everyone. I've been watching every Fever game, every minute. It's hard not to notice. I think some of the stuff happening out there just doesn't look right. I know what physical basketball is, but this ain't it. It's something else. It's like there's a different whistle when certain players are on the court. That last sentence, a different whistle when certain players are on the court, exploded on social media. Paige wasn't just making an observation. She was confirming what millions of fans already believed. The calls aren't consistent, and Caitlin Clark might be getting a raw deal. The internet lit up after Paige's comment. One fan posted, "Paige Bueckers just said what the entire WNBA fanbase has been screaming for weeks. Refs are protecting some players and targeting others, and Clark is taking the heat." Another wrote, "This is the leadership the WNBA needs." Paige hasn't even played a minute in the league, and already has more backbone than half the league vets. Even sports analysts weighed in. Stephen A. Smith reposted the clip and said, "I've been saying it for weeks. The league is letting Clark get battered. Now even her future rivals are calling it out." What does that tell you? And it didn't stop there. So far, the WNBA has stayed silent. No statement, no clarification, no defense of the referees, no acknowledgement of the controversy. Even as attendance and viewership are at all-time highs largely because of Caitlin Clark's popularity. Many believe this silence speaks volumes. It suggests either embarrassment or complicity. This isn't just about Clark anymore. It's about the integrity of the league. And Paige's viral comments might be the moment everything started to shift. If Paige Bueckers, a player not even in the WNBA yet, feels compelled to speak out, if fans are boycotting games because of perceived bias, if players are getting injured while refs swallow the whistle, what happens next? Does the league face pressure to act? Does Commissioner Cathy Engelbert issue a response? Do more players start speaking up? And when Paige enters the league next season, will she be embraced by the old guard or targeted the way Clark has been? Paige is clearly ready for the spotlight. And now, she's showing she's not afraid to use it. Let's take a second to appreciate the irony here. Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers were supposed to be rivals. They've been compared for years, from high school mixtapes to college showdowns. Fans love to debate. Who's the better shooter? Who's the more complete player? Who will have the bigger legacy? But Paige's recent comments suggest something deeper than rivalry. Respect. She sees what Clark is going through. And instead of staying quiet, she stood up and said something. That's not just a sports story. That's a leadership story. And it might reshape how both are seen as the future of women's basketball. Major outlets are now reporting on Paige's comments. ESPN ran a segment titled, Paige Bueckers, the future voice of the WNBA? Bleacher Report highlighted the growing friction between old-school players and the new wave of stars. The Athletic wrote, Paige's comments are a warning. Fix the culture or lose the next generation. What's becoming clear is that Paige Bueckers isn't afraid to challenge the system before she's even a part of it. That's rare. That's bold. And it's exactly what the WNBA needs right now. So, where do we go from here? Paige Bueckers went viral for one line, but it carried truth and weight. The special whistle conspiracy isn't just a fan theory anymore. It's a legitimate concern voiced by future stars. And Caitlin Clark? She's still showing up, still leading her team, and still staying silent for now. But the noise is getting louder. The scrutiny is rising. And with voices like Paige's joining the conversation, the WNBA will eventually have to respond. Because the fans are watching, the players are talking, and the future of the league might depend on what happens next. And remember, this is just the beginning. Paige Bueckers is coming. Caitlin Clark isn't backing down. And the WNBA is being changed forever, whether they're ready for it or not. Do you think Paige Bueckers was right to speak up? Is there really a special whistle being used against the fever? Let us know below. We read every comment. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more WNBA updates.